After a brief hiatus, Alir marches on to Brodia and gets shot at by the chattest loser ever. One comical cutscene later, and we join Al to protect a bridge which is under assault by a clown. This chapter, we get Alchrist, Citrine, and someone who becomes obsolete in the next chapter. There's no reinforcements this chapter, making it pretty easy to just go at your own pace. Jean almost solos the bottom part of the map, while everyone else goes up top. Eventually, we reach the tough part. We get to engage the enemy first while they have the Lucina ring, so they can easily kill at least one unit on enemy phase. Except they don't, giving me the upper hand. I first take out Rosado, who I deemed the biggest threat and the easiest to kill. Then let Jean tank Goldmary and the clown. And then we proceed to beat the utter crap out of this clown. Winning the fight, we move on to Brodia's capital and meet Al's older brother and a Fire Emblem dad. I'm sure he'll be a nice reoccurring character. Camilla, but actually interesting, attacks the castle, and we are put on defense. This map goes poorly. I lose Clan, who was shaping up to be actually useful, unlike his sister, and Amber shows up just in time to die. This map would be easier if I could use Diamant, but he comes equipped with Roy. Despite this, I pull through with no more losses. Big help from Al. Couldn't have done it without you, buddy. And I figured out a way to use Diamant. I got him to be a chain attack bot, and after a little bit of a struggle, we completed the chapter. Starting the next chapter with a Fire Emblem dad fight in which the King of Brodia wins, by dying. Due to the bad preparations, I struggle to get any footing in the map. But after a few time resets, I get it. Jade almost dies, so I'm forced to use a rescue staff on her, because I'm in desperate need of units, so I can't just let her die. Yet. Zelkov and Kagetsu attack from the north and south. I easily dispatch Kagetsu, but Zelkov's crew proves to be troublesome. After another time warp, we finish him off. Now we can move on to Ivy, who is actually really easy to defeat. Jean beats her up, and we move on to Lugia's capital. Lugia's church? Church capital? Before we head there, I make sure to do any important preparations, and the game warns me that this will be an important turning point in the story. Those who've played this before know that this will not affect me in the slightest. Marth tries telling Alir to not be overconfident, but this is a no emblem run, so we ignore him. The bad guys bring back King Moron so he can die a second time. And finally, we begin the chapter. This is a really tough chapter. Normally you would have emblems to support you and make it easier, but I have to rely on pure stats, which mean people die. After a long struggle, we take out Hortensia and the Moron. Then King Bozo turns on aim hacks and takes out Citrine. I was already out of resets, so that death sticks. I inch forward until I manage to box the boss in place, and then we wail on him. Jean once again gets the finishing blow, and it's chapter complete. However, despite our victory, Lord Purple Nurple still gets revived. The King of Lugia rejoices until he realizes that he too is a Fire Emblem dad, and gets eaten. Vale is revealed to be the one who killed our mother, and we know it to be true because feet, which I once again take an appropriate amount of screenshots of. We meet the Fantastic Four. Vale takes our emblem rings, and Alir starts whining. Alir, my dude, we never use those things. Stop crying about it. You're acting like a child whose toy he hasn't touched in years got thrown away. With our group trapped from all sides in the chapel, and with the emblem rings in the enemy's hand, how will our heroes make their daring escape? They just leave, I guess. We're outside now. This chapter is known for its high difficulty because it takes away all the emblems you had. But since I never used them in the first place, there should be no problem, right? Well, it also takes away your time powers, so I have to reset the old-fashioned way. I make a beeline to get to the exit until Ivy shows up with her crew. She gives me time powers back. Yay! And also puts an emblem on Alir. Boo! Also, Vale unleashes the hounds, so I gotta be quick about this. I get Kagetsu and Zelkov to open a path and finish the mission with no losses. After narrowly escaping death, our crew decides to hunt for more emblems because surely they can't just take them away a second time, right? Well, either way, our next destination is the Deserts of Solm.